So we're a day early, but it should be noted that tomorrow is 420. You can call it the high holiday of cannabis culture, and if all goes as planned, it will be the last 420 of the prohibition on marijuana in this country. And as Canada gets set to legalize weed for recreational use, we all know pot stocks have become pretty hot. One of the companies is Cronos Group. It's one of about 24 companies making their pitches to investors at GMP First Energy Conference today here in Toronto. It's also one of the larger players in this country, valued at more than $1.5 billion. Here to talk about the company's future is CEO Michael Gorenstein. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I was looking at your fact sheet from this conference, and you have a value of $1.5 billion into your market cap. Your revenues on the last quarter were $1.3 million.
Yes.
How much of that is just you're waiting to gear up for what's to come?
Yeah, there's a lot of different factors there. It's really a step function. So there's, without question, more demand than supply. And when you look at how you build the facilities out, when you go and you go from, say, 15,000 square feet to 300,000 square feet, and you've got provinces that are starved for product, it's very easy to forecast sort of the short-term cash flows. So that's a big part of it.
And your production facility, is it built now, 286,000 square feet?
We're finishing the flower rooms. We already have other operational production facilities, of course.
That's huge.
It is a large facility, yeah.
What is it? What is this period? I mean, it's such a unique glimpse. It's almost like an economics textbook is being written underfoot. That this period before we get to recreational legalization, the buildup of capital, the buildup of production capacity, as we wait for that, this period right now must be incredibly weird to try to navigate, isn't it?
Well, it's fascinating, but it's similar to the end of Prohibition, except instead of sort of flipping a switch, because of the medical market.
Right.
And in fact,
there's already some capacity there.
Exactly. So we've had a runway to be able to train and get ready for the increased demand. Even without recreational cannabis, we have a presence on 4 continents. We've got tons of demand in Germany, all throughout Europe. So for us, it's a race to make sure we have enough capacity to meet demand and make sure that we're innovating and still coming out with different products that really further the industry and further the experience for the consumers.
We have Chuck Raffici on the show a fair bit, a big investor in that space. And one of the things he was talking about most recently was that we're really into the mergers and acquisitions phase of this, and that companies either got to bulk up and make sure that they can buttress against some kind of merger, somebody's coming in to take them over, or they got to start gobbling up territories. How important is it for you guys to have those international connections and those international sort of wings of a company to make sure you're big enough to withstand whatever it is that's to come?
I don't look at it as withstanding. I think that once you hit a certain scale, once you make sure your processes are down, it's just about delivering consumers what they want, and then you're not really worried about threats. If you see opportunities to to do transactions, you always look at what's best for your shareholders, what makes sure that all the stakeholders are getting what they want. But I think international growth is very important, because if you look at the comparable sectors, either alcohol, pharma, these are all global companies. And the opportunity in Canada, which is so unique and why I think the valuation is so large, is Canada is really the place where the global leaders are coming from. First federally legal G7 country for recreational, really the center of import, export for cannabis. So if you're not spreading around, if you're not entering Germany, Israel, Australia, you're really not taking full advantage of your opportunity.
Well, listen, it's a fascinating time, and I'm really grateful that you can come in and share your insight with us. Michael Gorenstein, CEO of the Cronos Group.